So Senators Cruz, Johnson, Langford, Daines, Kennedy, Blackburn, Braun, Senators-elect Loomis, Marshall, Haggerty, and Tuberville have joined with Senator Cruz in proposing that a resolution be passed where a challenge be made to the election. So this is going to be a actual way this is going to work is that these senators intend to vote on January 6th to reject the electors from the disputed states as not, quote, regularly given and lawfully certified, which is the statutory language, unless and until that emergency 10-day audit is complete. They're proposing a 10-day audit. They want Congress should immediately appoint an electoral commission with full investigatory and fact-finding authority to conduct an emergency 10-day audit of the election returns in the disputed states. Once completed, individual states would evaluate the commission's findings. It can convene a special legislative session to certify a change in their votes if needed. Accordingly, according to the senators, we intend to vote on January 6th to reject the electors from the disputed states as not regularly given and lawfully certified unless and until the emergency audit is completed.
In order for the objection to be heard and debated on, Jay, it has to be presented in writing and signed by both a member of the House and a member of the Senate, and that's where we get to this next stage that you want to talk about. If an objection is heard in writing, signed by a member of the House and the Senate, then each of those objections is debated on and voted.
There is a process that is historically based in what Senator Cruz is trying to do right now. It wouldn't be something new and untested or untried before, unprecedented. It has happened, and it is an idea that does bear looking at.
The issue is on this, Than, is to get it to that stage, you have to have consent of the two bodies of the Congress.
In order for the objection to stand in that state that is currently being objected to, in this case it would be Georgia, both the chambers, both the House and the Senate would have to have a majority of the members of that body support the objection.
The reality is, and we have to be realists about these things, is that the votes in the House and in the Senate are simply not there to enact this commission and to get this through.
But let's play it out. Let's just say hypothetically there was a majority in both chambers. Those electoral votes from that state that was being contested would not count, and they would proceed through the count. So at the end of the count, if you had 6 states, say, where the electoral votes were not counted, and then this electoral commission were formed, they would convene for 10 days, they would look at the evidence, and they would send their findings back to those 6 states for those states to determine whether or not they wanted to submit a new slate of electors.
Why are they logging these charges and challenges? Because they think something was wrong. And they have the constitutional authority, the senators, to do this. And here is the reason why. This is what Senator Cruz says.
Dismissing these claims, I think, does real violence to our democratic system. We ought to have a serious, fair process and tribunal to consider these claims, consider them quickly, consider them expeditiously. We can do it in 10 days before the inauguration. I think that would take major steps towards reestablishing trust in our democratic process. And I believe that should be a bipartisan objective. We may be too divided today for that to happen, but Democrats should be interested in Americans having confidence in our electoral system just as much as Republicans should be.
I think what Senator Cruz is trying to do is perfectly legitimate, and the fact that it may not succeed doesn't mean it can and shouldn't be tried. Because everything that is constitutional, everything that is legal, everything that is within the purview of what our republic stands for should be tried to ensure the integrity of an election, and that's what he's trying to do here. Establish this commission, give it 10 days, give it investigatory power, let the legislatures hear from these bipartisan commissioners and determine whether they want to stick with their electoral slate or change their electoral slate. And I think it's an important thing to do in order to give confidence to this process.
He says, look, I think the irregularities are significant enough. We should take every opportunity to look at it. We've got 10 days to look at it. I want them to look at it. But then, Jay, he's not taking control of those electoral votes from Pennsylvania. He's saying to Pennsylvania, the state officials, here's the evidence the commission found. Take another look and tell us what you want to do with it.
What Ted Cruz is actually saying is he's going to vote no to certification on this round. He's going to say it wasn't lawfully given. He's going to say it wasn't regularly given, rather, and was not done in a unlawfully certified by the states. But then he's sending it back to the states after this investigation takes place for 10 days, and then those states will decide.